From the beginning of this case, folks, the government has been blitzing, and Xavier's pocket was collapsing. But today, Xavier stepped into the pressure. He took responsibility for his actions.
Yes, you heard football references in that statement. That's the defense attorney for a Kansas City Chiefs superfan known as Chiefsaholic, who is now facing decades in prison after admitting to robbing banks across the Midwest, including one here in Bixby. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Shay Rozzi.
And I'm Sarah Whaley. Despite admitting all the things he did, Xavier Babidar pleaded guilty to only 3 charges. Fox 23's Alex Cash has been following this story since the robbery here last year. She's live now with reaction to this guilty plea. Alex.
We followed this extensively. Chiefsaholic was well known on social media, but now he's facing time behind bars. And officials told me they're happy that his victims are getting justice.
Xavier Babidar, also known as Chiefsaholic, was famous for dressing up in this wolf costume, but the mask hid a double life as a bank robber.
No matter how popular he was as a superfan, no matter how much social media following, he was a criminal that went in and stole money from banks and terrorized tellers.
U.S. Attorney Clint Johnson, who prosecuted the case, says Babidar admitted to robbing or attempting to rob 11 banks in 7 states across the Midwest, including taking off with nearly $140,000 from right here in Green Country, the Teachers Federal Credit Union in Bixby in December 2022. Payson Garcia was behind the counter that day. When I spoke with her last year, she told me he threatened her with a gun.
And he has a gun right here to my chest. And he tells me to take him to the vault. And he told us if we didn't give him the hundreds, he was going to put a bullet in our heads. It was terrifying. And I mean, it changed everything. Like, I definitely don't live my life the same after that.
Babidar was arrested, then released on bond in February 2023, but then cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. He was tracked down in California 3 months later. Officials say he laundered the money he stole through casinos. Babidar pleaded guilty to 1 count of money laundering, transporting stolen property across state lines, and that Bixby bank robbery. Johnson shared why getting that guilty plea is a big deal.
These things have such the possibility of violence behind them I'm extremely pleased that we were able to get that plea of guilty so that he will be held accountable for all of his actions.
Babidar has to pay over $500,000 in restitution to the banks and also give up an autographed painting of Chiefs superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Babidar faces up to 50 years in prison without parole. He's due to be sentenced in July. Live covering news that matters, I'm Alex Cash, Fox 23 News.
And Babidar's defense attorney spoke to the media after he made a plea. You just saw a bit of that at the beginning of Alex's story. It was sent to us by our Kansas City news partners, Fox 4. Babidar's attorney says he knows his client is a well-known fan with a big social media following. He hopes Kansas City will keep supporting Babidar.
Now, if I know anything about Xavier, and if the Chiefs Kingdom knows anything about Chiefsaholic, we know that he doesn't give up. We know that if he stumbled and he fell, he didn't let his knee touch the ground. And that's because he's capable of doing a great thing. And he knows that there's still hope.
He truly believes in his client, for sure. For our full coverage on this case, just type Chiefsaholic in the search bar on fox23.com.